My name is Bihros and I'm recording this video to explain the assignment number 4 given by the Computer Science Club. So we have this output for which we should write the code. First, let's see and understand what's going on here, and after this try to write the actual code. Let's start. So what we have here is that rows, number of rows that are going. We see that there are 1 2 3 4 5 rows in which the action is happening. So here we will write the condition rows and mention. So we have that one condition rows in which the things are happening, and see what is happening in each row. So starting with row number 1, we have that there is nothing written here, so the space, and after we have our output, so we will definitely use spaces, the spaces in which we don't have the values. So for this, and after the spaces, we see that our actual characters are going. So the amount of characters, I hope that it's visible for you. So we have rows, spaces, and amount of characters. I think that it's all clear until this moment. So let's see what is going on in each row as it increases. So in a row number 1, we have that there are 1 2 3 4 spaces given to us, and after 4 spaces we have only one A character. So one A character. In the second row, we see that there are 1 2 3 spaces are given, 3 in a row number 2, and we have that B character is given 3 times. It's given 3 times. All right. After this, we are going to the row number 3, in which we have 2 spaces, 3 2, and we see that 5 characters outputted. The next is a row number 4 with only 1 spaces, and 1 2 3 4 5 7 characters, only 1 space, and it's row number 5. And in the row number it was number 4, and here we're coming to the row number 5. We see that it's all filled up with a character A, which means that we have 0 spaces, and the amount of characters are, so it's just a +2, which is 9. So what it means to us is that all the conditions, we have these 3 conditions, important conditions, which are going to play the important role of the loops. So loops, these are our loops, and we also can notice that the character is changing all the time. And in our assignment we have that we should use ASCII values. So we have to do it with ASCII, using the ASCII code. What it means to us, as we know, you can search it. The character A in ASCII stands for the number 65, and the character B is 66, has a number 66, and it continues to grow, and it's going on in this pattern all the time, +1, and the next letter is coming. Alright, which means we have to have the one variable which will output these letters, and it's also should change. Okay, let's start writing the actual code. I will write it here. I'm losing the focus. Okay, I'm going to write it here. Well, let's start. So let's declare our character as a K, for example. Oh no, sorry, character. I like it. Character K. So we'll have this character. Let's just keep it like this for the moment, and let's continue. So we have the opening of our loop. For the loop, the first loop, that are the number of rows, we have that it should be up to 5. I'm sorry for the cough. I'm just I got a flu and it's harder for me to explain. So in the first loop we should output the number of rows, which is 5. So let's write it here. Integer I equals to 1 in a condition when I is less than or equal to 5, I increases, right? Okay, so we are opening our loop, and in the second loop we should show the spaces. We see that there are only 4 spaces in a first, and it's going down, so it's decreasing for the loop. For this loop it will increase by 1 all the time, and it will output the spaces, right? Okay, let's declare it. So it will be integer, for example, taking b as a 1. So b will decrease all the time. Oh no, we have to assign a number 5, so actually, and b, when the b is more than a I, so b should be, yeah, so b here is more than I, and it's decreasing, and it will continuously print the space. All right, let's continue. So let's close this. The next loop is for the amount of characters, and I have my own logic for this. I see that it's increasing by 2 all the time, and it's all the odd numbers. What we can use here is that this row number 1, and using this we can show that it's increasing by the 2. So my logic will look like let's write it down here. For the loop, let's say integer s, it will be equal to 1. So our starting point is 1, as the a is only 1 character, and when the s is less than or equal to I. So here is a magic happens. I, so we have the condition I multiplied by 2 minus 1. I will later show how this thing works. In reality, I is increasing all the time. And it should print out for me the character. Character should change all the time. So our character K, I didn't complete it yet. Our character K should increase by 1 as at 66, 65, starting from 65, 66, 67, and so on. So in order to show this as increasing to 1, our character K should have the value 64. So when the loop opens, it will have the condition here as a 65 as it increases by 1. So what's next? Here we'll output the condition of K, right? And it will be our character. So it is our not complete. It's not completed yet, and we have to have here the end line. So this completed, this completed, see out. See out, end line, right? And then we can close our code. So let's see how this thing is actually works. Here let's have our output here. Actually I can use this one, but alright, doesn't matter. And our table to show how our code is working in reality. So we have the characters I, B, S, and our output K, right? Okay, our code is starting with a number 1 here. The first row starts, then it opens, and here we have that b is equals to 5. B equals to 5. But in a condition when it's more than I, it decreases, which means it lays to 4. So the first, let's say, the first it starts from 5, yeah, from 5, goes back to 4 and prints 1 space here. Then it continues to drop. 4 is more than 1, so it will also iterate and prints 1 here. 3 is more than 1, so here we have the third. 2, the next one is more than a 1, more than I, so it's also processed and prints 1 space here. Then we have the 1. 1 can't be more than a 1, so it stops here. Alright, so the next loop, here is K. First we had that K is 64, and in our loop it becomes a 65. So here plus 1 is 65. Alright, then it goes here we see here that s is 1, starts with 1, and what is the logic here? So I is 1, it is 1, multiplied by 2 it becomes 2, and minus 1 it becomes 1, right? So which means we'll only have that 1 s here, and it continues to grow. So 1s, and it prints k here. It is k. Oh, I'm sorry, it is a. It is a, right? So 1 is printed, s is equals to 1, and it can't be more than a 1 right now, so this loop is ends, and at the end we have the end line, and here it goes to the next line. So our first loop is ended, and we are going to the second loop. This all completed. We have the end line, and we're moving to the new line here and starting again. So in this time our I is equals to 2, and we're starting from here again. Here b again equals to 5. To right, starting from 5. 5 is more than 1, and it persists. So one time I put a space, so it decreases, prints space, which I already did, and it becomes 4. 4 is more than 1, and it decreases, prints space, putting here space again. Here is a value of 4, and then 3 is more than a 1, so it also persists. We're printing here third one, and then 2 can't be more than a 2, so it doesn't work, and the condition here becomes false. We are moving to the k, which became not a 65 but 66 this time, and in ASCII code 66 represents b. So moving on, it becomes 66. Here k equals to b. So here what happens is that s starts with 1, starting with 1. The condition here becomes 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, and minus 1 is 3, right? So it so here it's 3, here it's 1, as which means our s, sorry, this should be s, not I, s will go to the next one. So one time it's printed b, so it goes to the 2. 2 is less than 3. It's true, so it will persist and prints the second b, and the 3 is equals to 3. It also persists, goes prints here b, and now s becomes a 4, which here it becomes 4, which is not which is more than, and it's not matching with the condition here, so it becomes false, right? Our loop ends. We have count end line, which moves us to the next line, to here, starting again. Now our I becomes 3, starting with 5 again. 5 is more than, here 5 is more than a 3. It becomes then 4, so it becomes 4, prints here 1 space, right? Then we are going right, so 4 is more than a 3. Yes, it is more than a 3, prints 1 space again, 2 spaces. The 3 can't be more than a 3, so this condition becomes false, and we're going to key which adds the 1. Previously it was 66, now it is 67, which prints all right, it becomes 67, and now it has a value of C of 67. We'll continue. So S first starts with a 1, and now here we have the 3. 3 times 2 is 6, minus 1 is 5. So S becomes 5 now, which means it will print the K 5 times. K is C now, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it closes. We have the next line, going to the next line, to here, starting with 5 again. So we already closed this. The fourth, starting with 5 again. 5 is more than a 4. Here 5 is more than a 4, and so it proceeds and decreases. The 5 decreases to 4 and puts 1 space here. So it proceeds 4. 4 can't be more than a 4, so it's false now. We're stopping, or stop point is here. Then we're going to key which adds the next value, then which adds number 1 and becomes 68. In order 68 is D. Yeah. And let's see, here in next loop starts with 1, S equals to 1. Here I is 4. I times 2, 4 times 2 is 8, minus 1 is 7. Now it's 7, which means our loop will work 7 times and print 7 keys. K is D, so it will print here right 7 G's. Going so here our loop ends, end line, going to the next one. So here now it is 5, it reached 5. All right, so here we completed with 4, came to 5. B, our B is starts with 5. 5 is not more than 5, so this loop will not work. We're skipping it, which means we don't have the space here. K becomes 69, adds 1 becomes 69, and now it is E, right? 69. Now it represents E. Let's see what happens here. So 5 times I times 2, which is 5 times 2 is 10, minus 1 is 9. So now it is 9. which means this loop will print out the key value for 9 times. Our key is letter E, so in the final it will print out E 9 times. So 3, 6, 8, 9. Alright, so our code works, and yeah, it works correctly, which means we have done with the assignment. And thank you for the watching.